So you want to get that cool blurry background effect from your new camera. Well, there's 3 things that you need to know. So let's get into it. I'm about to go into some serious detail here, so get your pen and paper ready and make sure you save this for later because you're going to want to come back to it. If you want the blurry background effect or shallow depth of field, you need to learn aperture, focal length, and focal distance. Aperture is also referred to as f-stop. The faster the aperture, the lower the number. And the lower the number, the shallower the depth of field or the blurrier the background will be. To get a nice blurry background, you'll want to get an aperture of 2.8 or lower. My go-to lens is the Sigma 24-70 f2.8, and the 2.8 is how fast the lens is. I don't recommend shooting at lower than f2.8 outside of a few specialty situations because your depth of field is so shallow. It becomes harder to keep and maintain moving subjects such as a person talking, a person walking, a person doing any type of action. It becomes much harder to keep them in focus. However, when you stop down, you will lose a little bit of that shallow depth of field, but it then becomes easier to keep your subject in focus. The next piece of the puzzle is focal length. The focal length is the angle of view, or in simpler terms, how we're going to view the image based off the length of the lens that's attached to the camera. The wider your focal length, the easier it is to keep more things in focus. That means the wider your focal length, the faster aperture you're going to need in order to blur your background. Whereas with telephoto lenses, you can actually have a slower aperture and still get your background to be blurry. So if you're working with lenses and the aperture isn't that fast, if you're shooting on a longer focal length, you'll be able to get that nice blurry background much easier than if you're shooting on a wider focal length. There is one workaround to that, which is the final part of the puzzle, and that's distance. The further separated your subject is from the background, sort of like I am now, the easier it is to get the background to be blurry. Whereas if you position your subject, say, right against the wall, it's going to be very difficult to get the wall to be blurry and your subject in focus because the distance between your subject and the background is not far enough. Like right now, I'm filming myself on a 35mm, which is sort of the beginning of the wide angle focal range, but there's several feet of distance between myself and the wall behind me. That makes it easy for the camera to have me in focus and the wall out of focus. I know this was a lot to digest and can be confusing, so let me know down in the comments if you have any questions or anything else that you want me to explain about this. And I'm curious, do you think I missed anything when it comes to creating the shallow depth of field look? Let me know down in the comments, and I'll catch you in the next one.